So our guests this evening, we would like to welcome two young activists. First of all, Omowale Braffett, thank you very much for coming. We have Kingsley, who is an activist in the area, and of course, regular to CNC3 Studios, giving us a very unique perspective, Pastor Clive Doughty. Let me start with you, Omowale.
I am a hardworking citizen. I hail from a low place in Laventille, the Sheriff of Port of Spain. And, well, as you've been seeing and hearing, a lot of us have been feeling the brunt of what has been going on by the armies. And like we saw, or we heard from officers as well, that could lead into confrontation between the police and the army, because the police saying that the army's mode of operation is illegal.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us this evening. I know it's Friday evening, and I'm sure there's lots you want to relax, but this is such an important issue. And what you raised there about the authority that the army has to patrol, the minister gives a very direct comment. We'll air that in a little while on exactly what authority he says and the way in which the army can operate at this time. Kingsley, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about your work as an activist and where do you work?
Where I'm a young fella, well, never get caught up with the law. I somebody young could watch at me and say, well, he from the ghetto, as we just say, I'm coming from the ghetto. Somebody making us stand a voice for the ghetto, because right now it's crisis in the ghetto. When we have soldiers coming in the ghetto, using force without no doubt, taking out young boys and kind of in different areas. And it is alleged that they're working with certain next side of our area. And I hear the commander that he said that he have soldiers walking around with masks in the face. But how could you have soldiers walking with masks in a community where there's gunshot busting non-stop? So it come like this: if the residents from the community see a soldier with mask in the face, they will feel scared. If I see a soldier, I will feel scared. As a law-abiding citizen in this country, we're paying tax in this country, right? We have to understand it's like a small problem in the hills of Laventille. And as a person who lives in this country, who loves this country, all of us have to make a stand. And we have to work and get a solution to work with it. We cannot throw petrol on fire and make it get more hot. So why is I live in the community and I know poverty, I know the young fellas in the community want to do better, I want to do good, but nobody there. Even if we have, okay, I want to talk about politics here, even if we have a certain party run the area for a certain amount of years, right? And if I win election, I will go in that area and try to work with the people, and let people and show people well, what's going on. The people who was there before never show their love. We come to show love, build our love with the people, so next 2015 they can win that election. But if you coming in and showing that love and let's come in with our force and saying fight fire with fire and march on like roach.
Okay, so we get your, what you're basically saying, as I understand it, is this approach is not necessarily solving, it's instilling a certain amount of fear, and it feels very heavy-handed. Pastor?
That should raise, some eyebrows here in terms of what the Police Services Welfare Association is saying about the role of the Army. And one would have thought that would have been worked out by the Ministry of National Security. So you don't have that kind of problem. I think what is confusing right now is a sense of balance. I think we're on the brink of an explosive kind of precipice, and therefore all sides, must operate responsibly and with a sense of maturity. For example, I don't read anybody beating up over the marking the Prime Minister name and the leader of the opposition name. I can't agree with that. We're not operating under Sharia law here, so I cannot agree with that. So I'm saying all around, we need to have a sense of responsibility. I was in a child protection task force meeting yesterday, and I can tell you, Francesca, there was talk about a coup right through, in terms of what we were hearing. And then I heard where, the catalyst was the blogging of the guy from, I think, Abu Bakr's son, whoever it is. But anyhow, I'm saying all of us must have a sense of responsibility. Now,
right now, what it's like to be, say, 13 years old in your community.
If you have a community with young boys, what to say, they have no job, they have no way to go, right? I thought that it's small elements It's easy for a young person for the mind to go astray. It's easy for somebody to just take it to the next level. Because when they're young, you make mistake, right? I'm not actually, I'm going to understand because he's saying he's not talking to no law by citizen because we try to talk to him and he won't talk to me. So he's like everybody bad on the hills. But when we say, right, if we have people who understand, right, we don't have people who on no agenda because we come out with no agenda. We have no party because we come here for the country and for the youths of this nation because we find it going down the drain and we make a stand.
And even since the program has been moved under the authority of this ministry, there have been some increasing revelations from you about what's been going on. So what is your strategy now that we know money has been distributed by cash? What's happening?
Well, I'm glad you said that because the focus has always been so far on the controversy, the situation as to what has gone wrong. And my concept is if something is wrong, you fix it. You don't hide it. And that's why I did not bury my head in the sand. And because I was aware of the criminal repercussions that will take place and continue to take place if we didn't clean it up. Moving forward, I think that is more important than looking back at what took place. There was a lot of good that we saw in the live sport program. There were supposed to be 1,800 youths, if probably only 600 benefited and the other 1,200 were ghosts. The importance is for us to keep that 600 in a situation that...
But how is it that even ghost members could have even appeared? This is a problem we've had in Trinidad over previous years with different types of government contracts. How did it slip through the fingers of this administration?
Well, it's not the administration. So I think it has to do with proper financial management and making sure that there's proper accountability and transparency.
So this rests where?
Well,
where is the accountability?
Well,
obviously the Minister of Sport would have some, but likewise there's a whole machinery within the public service that is authorized to monitor payments. So are you saying that it rests between both the authority and the responsibility?
I will let the auditors decide that based on the audit that is taking place. What I could assure you is that moving forward, the reason why I will eliminate that in this ministry is that you do not. This is not an era in the 1930s or 40s where you pay people by cash alone. And then that is what caused the problem. And you have $1,500 being paid to 60 participants, and you put $90,000 in a paper bag to give to one person who will promise to pass it on to others. That is totally ridiculous. And similar to the Hoop of Life, you ask those persons who are participants, you open a bank account and money is deposited there. That is what eliminates the ghost gangs immediately. So that problem will be eliminated from the start.
Were there persons receiving money who were not legitimate within the program?
Well, I wouldn't want to speak more about it until the audit comes out. But what we do know is that cash was being given in grabs to one individual who will then promise to pay others because he said that the others would not have bank accounts, and that is what that will eliminate that problem.
You tell me in the early morning sort of a mask on the face in the morning?
And not even that. Even when the situation was taking place, we had a couple of young ladies who were willing to pull out the phone, tape, we want evidence. We have soldiers, give me that, open phone, take out memory card. All these sort of things taking place.
And they said we not protesting when a resident get killed. When the young girl and what wasn't she baby died, the resident from St. Paul should come out and protest. When they come out and protest, they
open fire.
The next area open fire. When they have the cameraman hiding for his life. So the resident just come out and protest when the next area come down and shoot somebody down, the resident come out and protest the day. But when you have certain police, because I'm telling you, right, it have police will come and talk to us during the things that happen when they back of the road. And they're going to work with us. High profile police. I wouldn't go and call a name, but police in khaki, stripes. You can't talk that and willing to work with us, right? When you could have the commissioner saying Laventille under no war with the police, and you have the minister saying something else, and then you have the next person saying something else, is our corruption in the place?
Okay, let's just take a little pause here. And exactly what the point you were making there is, it's very difficult to get, real clear information about what are the policies and then what is actually happening when soldiers and police get on the ground and try to deal in a community where even that community is split into different groups. So when we come back, let's hear...
It will happen all over the country. Because if it happened on the hills alone, Laventille, it affecting the whole country. That's not affecting Laventille. It might even reach from a person doorstep as that. If you could have the National Minister of Security apologizing for the soldiers. You understand what we just face? Look the night I sleeping after one. Soldiers busting shots up in the air, passing through. Not at nobody. People inside now. People fighting. And we want to know if this country is under curfew. Because by 8 o'clock, the soldiers coming up with mask in the face and telling everybody go inside. We asking the National Minister of Security if Laventille under curfew, if Port of Spain under